People need to be talking about this more because I literally have no idea what's going on anymore.
Call of Duty needs 691 gigabytes of space.
It's probably multiple games, but it's not far from the average reality of 120 gigabytes required, so I don't even play modern games anymore. Let's start consuming all of these videos all in one big chunk, and I have a unique perspective because I am an graphics engineer, and guess who takes up the most of your valuable disk space if you're a gamer? Fucking disk space, bro. 70% goes into textures and 3D models. It's actually a little bit worse. See, when I was arguing with AI, that's the number it spit out. But when I was like looking back of what we received with Oblivion, like remaster versions truly show their real colors, you know? The true colors truly shine. This, my friends, is not 10 times increase. This is a 20 times increase. Yeah. It's 20 times increase, boys. For what? I can't even play Oblivion Remastered. My PC can't fucking handle it. Why are we doing this? This is the new form of greed, basically. The only way I can describe it is whale chasing. The new form of greed. The Moby Dick. We live inside a book right now. These games, they're no longer for normal people who have normal amount of money. I don't get it, man. Let alone that people are gonna be like frustrated that their RAM prices are going up. You can't have anything stable on your computer anymore. You cannot have a stable operating system. You cannot have the RAMs because of the stupid AI. And you cannot have the storage because of the stupid polygons. Everything in your PC has been taken over. And I can't believe it. It's literally war. That slowly, like, we have been boiled like frogs. We have been slowly taken over. And we didn't even notice, bro. We didn't even know because that was just... The RAM prices fucking spiked out of nowhere. We couldn't fucking possibly notice that one. And now we're trying to scramble some kind of social cohesion to try and explain what's going on. But this one has been slowly rising up, and I was like slowly uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to do AAA gaming. We used to have discs, you know? We used to cram games into discs and just play from that. But that's no longer making sense. That died, and all of a sudden we can download infinite amount of gigabytes. Like, what the fuck is this? So we have to? We have to? I can only store 10 games at this point. 10 games into my PC. What if I'm lagging behind? What if my PC is 10 years old? It gets a lot worse when your PC is 10 years old. Like, these stats get so much worse when you're lagging behind and you don't have some fucking sophisticated storage device. I mean, I'm sorry, dude. It's getting insane. It's getting absurd, and no one's fucking noticing. Like, that's your job. It's your job to not just make games, but to report everything about them. AAA companies should be constantly talking about games and talking about how to make games more accessible, not less accessible. Like, what the fuck are we doing? So welcome to the Tech Blade, because I'm shocked that I get to make an episode like this. Let's vacuum clean the entire YouTube for all the little nuggets of information, and I will add my own take on all of this, because I'm starting to invent computer graphics. Apparently that is important. Someone has to invent computer graphics. By using polygons, you end up doing this shit. A simple shape becomes a pile of fucking rectangles. What are you doing? These are quads, by the way. And honestly, quads are a bit better than polygons, but it's the same pile of shit, man. This is what gets stored into your computer. This is a texture. It's a texture. That's it. That's all it is. This, I don't know how big it. I can tell you what this is. This whole thing is this much. Okay? So while your fucking donut and your fucking cup cost 6 megabytes, everything in my game will just cost a PNG. So, I don't know. Maybe rethink your fucking values, guys. Maybe it's time to communicate about something, you know, about your problems, about your mental illness, your computer mental illness. You know, like, let's fucking talk about it, because this is 130 kilobytes replaces all your needs, basically. I mean, yes, this looks terrible. Who would play low polygon game? Oh my goodness. And then Minecraft happens, and it's like the most popular thing, and the industry has not fucking changed since Minecraft. Yeah, everyone plays the low polygons, and we can always just increase the amount of polygons. It's not that fucking complicated, okay? In fact, it's not the texture, it's more like the height map has to be more detailed. And guess what? Height map? You can improvise the detail. I don't have to scale anything. The rest can be done by my code. You know this? This is just a noise map. Interpolation, have you heard of that? So just do that. You don't have to increase the size of my texture to get more detail at all. But this is ugly as fuck, man. That's my take. That's where I come from. That's my background. I'm starting to learn this shit. But I'm starting to learn from a perspective where I have 100% control, 100% innovation as well. And I can teach you all about it. You're an artist? Oh, you're the problem. Like, technically, the real problem, it comes from all them artists. All them are basically uneducated people who got a job to be an artist, and it's like, well, that's my thing. I do that. There's a bunch of artists out there, okay? And they're cramming your PC with a bunch of shit art right now. That looks like this. That looks like every single vertice. And something I haven't even fucking learned about, like indices or something. Like, what the fuck is that? I'm looking through this and I'm like, I don't know. Like, my brain would not be able to construct this at all. How will the cup look like in my game? It's a fucking circle. It's a cylinder, dude. It's a cylinder. Not only it will look good, but it will have perfect polygons. Like perfect. Like a ball. It will actually have... How are we still using polygons? What are you doing? What are we doing here? How are we not using, like, proper geometry? Why do we, like, pull out these weird polygon things? Like, what the hell? And, like, you would say, well, I don't want a perfect cup. I want a shaded cup. Ray tracing can do wonders on shaders as well. You said my word. That's my word. That's where I go on stage yet again. I'm the director, the actor, the producer, the sound engineer. I am everything, said the ray tracing, you know, while you're just still stitching polygons together. And you still don't even know, because all of this is just magic. It's movie magic. Well, so I did it in Blender. I had to use a specific program to create my polygon garbage mesh. But all I did is just paint it. I just painted this, I just scribbled some shit on a paper, and I have my mesh. Who's more superior? So, yeah, I come from superiority complex, obviously. I have my cloud guy. You know, I have my cloud. And all of this is ugly. I'm not an artist. Congratulations. I did not pass loser school, you know? But anyways, this is the stuff you need to know because, again, you can see Based on this example, what does that mean? 20 times? 95% of the game is textures. 95% is trash that can be optimized. Okay? Or should be optional. You shouldn't need to download all of this garbage. And constantly update it too? That sounds really weird. Because holy what do we how do we update games too? That one's a whole nother mystery. Update? What do you why is there texture updates? If 95% of the game is updates, why is the update larger than a gigabyte? What are you updating, bro? It gets pretty weird, I'm not gonna lie. But, yeah. This is getting out of control. I don't know even why it matters to AAA companies to work this fucking hard when they, like, literally, we're gonna be waiting for Elder Scrolls 6, and we're gonna be counting our days until we die as well. It's like, who's gonna come faster? We die? Elder Scrolls 6. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can last that long, man. I don't know if I can survive. I have to pay rent and everything, you know? I'll start paying with body parts. See, that's the fucking problem. It takes so long because, like, 95% of their job is probably just textures. There's not gameplay elements, nothing. None of that fucking matters. Just textures. Just look good. But then it lags. And it's unplayable. Well, and it's not optimized. And then it can have, like, terrible bugs as well. Because who can afford this shit to actually genuinely test on all the computers of the world? Nobody. This is unsustainable for the entire industry. Is gonna collapse. This is the biggest bubble we have ever seen, bro. Like, this is literally what bubbles are made out of. When you inflate something 20 times, you haven't improved anything, but you call it a day. You say, I ship this product, which was 20 times inflated, but look at the graphics. No, everything else was untouched, but we have improved the graphics because that's what we do as artists, you know? That's what we do, that's our job. Inflation, my friends. This is the most... You will never be able to define inflation better than this shit. This is unbelievable. This is, like, literally the easiest way to understand what's going on. In other words, the title of this video, you are being invaded by polygons. And actually, a more accurate definition of this, artists. 3D artists. These are the devils, man. These are the fucking evil people. Can I hire some of you over here into my camp? Where you're not gonna bother anyone, where you're not gonna hurt anyone? You know, with your error message of, like, not enough disk space. Oh no. That's you right there. That's you. You've done a great job. I just can't possibly have it on my PC. I'm so sorry. I can't hold it for you. Your job remains in a museum, my friend. Alright, let's begin. I'll take a break from roasting the fucking industry again. Because I literally roast everything in my way. Like, there's nothing that stands in my way anymore. Everything sucks. Okay? Again, I stopped playing games. I started playing card games, and they obviously also suck. I will not only improve the game industry by accident, but I also want to make card games. Do card games require a high level graphics and textures? Absolutely. Absolutely. But at least doesn't take 120 gigabytes just yet. Okay? 5 gigabytes? Yep. Not 120. Thank God. I fled. I ran away to card games and Minecraft. Because it was getting hot in here, my friends. And it looks like they're just cranking up the same heat, the same thermostat, bro. Why are they still doing this? I already ran away. The moment Skyrim dropped, I knew I wasn't playing AAA titles anymore. I was just being a Skyrim fanboy, you know? Because managing all of this is too much. I don't wanna. I don't want to think about it anymore. Because you can't just play one game. You have to be a gamer. You have to enjoy the entire ecosystem. You have to download all the 100 games, you know? Otherwise, you're not keeping up, man. The reason why also I chose Skyrim over everything else is because Skyrim doesn't have cutscenes. Skyrim doesn't have, like, enforced dialogue or story. Nothing is enforced. You have slight amount of freedom. This is all we want as gamers. We just want freedom. So we go into Minecraft of like, well, the rest of the games don't actually give us freedom, so let's just play this fucking indie game instead, you know? As a gamer, you literally downgrade yourself to find more enjoyment. This is my gaming channel, in case you're wondering what I'm up to. What is the top of the morning to your laddies type of thing. Honestly, Minecraft Skygrid, going hard right now. I mean, definitely touched taste buds I never thought were possible to touch. So, still doing that. Still doing Skyrim a little bit. I checked out what Skyrim Grandma was yapping about when she was quitting the game, and it was kind of funny. She got lost in a cave, okay? Like, she couldn't navigate a cave. It sucks for Grandma. You know, dementia kicked in. I test now different card games, and they all suck. The biggest card game is Hearthstone. It sucks. It fucking sucks. Doesn't respect players. A new card game showed up again, and this one is promising. But yeah, card games are not big. I ran away. I, like, really consciously ran away from big games because they're very demanding, and probably this is just the tip of the iceberg of what the big games attempt to do right now, of how much they inflate and give you nothing in return, right? It's just because you inflated the textures and worked for additional 3 years on your fucking shitty game doesn't mean you know how to entertain. Doesn't mean you're even selling the product to people, right? Doesn't mean like you keeping them interested, and they don't want to promote your product. So I haven't heard about like most of the stuff that I'm playing personally. You know, I have to find games myself. It's still the truth. I still remember, like, I know that the game exists on my PC just because my friend plays it. So, like, it was Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed was already a scary game of, like, well, you shoved a 60 gigabyte game into my laptop. I will have to delete it. You know, yes, I could enjoy it, maybe, I don't know, but deleting it feels cleaner. Feels like I got rid of a disease from my PC. I'm a drink something. I should drink myself to sleep at this point. Because the reality is, like, this is obvious. Like, it's pretty obvious why. The why is obvious. The industry is refusing to change, refusing to invent new things, and refusing to adopt Minecraft's domination, a blueprint, and instead just digs their own fucking grave. That's what they want to do. Minecraft's blueprint literally says the opposite. You don't work on your game 10 years. You release it as a prototype to see if it's fun. And people give a fuck in the first place. That's the blueprint. Instead, we have the industry, and the industry almost fucking consumed. Literally, this game was on the brink of getting consumed by the industry. It's Hytale. It's supposed to be the next level of Minecraft. I doubt this is the next generation, but it looks decent, right? Everyone waited. Everyone got their expectations met, I believe. And that's the start of it. Thank God this shit came out of the industry's big ass, because it was fucking close. We could have lost this. It was very close, my friends. Like, if Riot would just, like, not give a fuck and not sell the game, it's over. You know, Hytale dead. Game over. People who have waited patiently for the next Minecraft-looking thing to push the boundaries, they would have waited for fucking nothing. They would have waited 8 years for nothing, because that's how the industry works. And probably industry still looks at this and it's like, it doesn't look very good, doesn't look very appealing, doesn't look like 4K textures have been applied correctly, you know? Get the fuck out of here, dude. I'll play shit like this anytime. Alright? Because the real promise is that it has a lot of freedom and a lot of features that you most of the time not gonna find in other games. Sorry, dude. I can test run your game if it's free on a fucking app store, but I ain't fucking test driving $60 games anymore. Oh, so sorry, dude. Even as a pirate, even as a game pirate who doesn't actually pay, I pay with Monopoly money, but I still don't want your fucking game on my PC because it costs me my soul. My soul, dude. Even as a pirate, I'm like, do I want 120 gigabytes of my soul leaving my body right now? Is that a good idea? Because if you install a game and you forget about it before the major inspection, you know, of your PC, of like, where can I get my free space? You go like a beggar, like a homeless person across your PC, and it's like, can you give me some gigabytes? Can you spare me some gigabytes? Who is using all the gigabytes? And there's the big chungus in the fucking corner eating your soul, and it's like, here you are. Here you are. I found you in the middle of that forest of files that kind of made sense, but you, my friend, you have been installed by accident. I stopped playing you already. It's time to go, Big Chungus. Go back where you came from. Fucking Polygon opens up, bro. Get out of here. The world of gaming makes no sense anymore. And that shit's inflating. The ego is inflating. And the gamers haven't noticed yet hard enough to where, like, they want to riot. They want to steal a few hightails for themselves. I want to steal some hightails. You know? Or rather, liberate. But through riot. I don't know, I'm trying to make a pun here. This one's still funnier. So I guess I'm not gonna try and compete anymore. How many games do you have? 6? On your PS5. I have 6 games.
Good lord. Is this not ridiculous? Is this not ridiculous to anyone else? We are on the 9th generation of consoles.
It's not about being ridiculous, it's unsustainable. It's supposed to be ridiculous to the industry. The industry should be self-aware, you know? Like, it's almost like big companies are like fighting for your disk space right now, trying to occupy as much disk space as possible. What is that? We use the most disk space for the shittiest country on Earth. Man, can we free up some disk space, guys? I feel like the rest of the world is suffering because of this. You know? This big chungus. And I think the big corporations act the same exact way. You know, they're like the fucking disk space dictators. Disk-tators, bro. Disk-tators.
And one of the 167 gigabytes of usable default isn't that much. Go back
Uh-oh.
couple of decades, entire GameCube lineup on 667 gigabytes. FIFA 23, the Call of Duty HQ hub thing, or whatever it is, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and the Demon's Souls remake. 5 whole games. And the thought—
Oh! I was wrong by one game. Foolish me to think that you could have actually had 6 games. What an idiot. I need to update my calendar because it must be the New Year's recently. And now, you can't fit that many games, man. 666 on your PlayStation storage? Wow. You're the devil. They literally had to bargain with the devil to get that amount of storage in your tiny little console, man. We're trying to keep up with the games, and it's like, please, devil, please, you don't understand. The games are chasing us. We can't fit enough games right now. And the devil, well, if you call your console piss, we have a deal. I think devil would be more like the funny guy, just ruin everything. Oh, you don't get it? Piss? No, yeah? You get it, right? What if I typed it with an L? What if the PlayStation PL? It's piss. You bought piss. The newest console is piss.
that I don't want on top of this—
Whoa! What are you doing? You don't try and help me.
means I'll only have 7 free gigabytes of space to, I don't know, play Bomb Rush Cyberpunk or Skyrim. I'll have to uninstall one of these games. Can't even rely on game discs anymore because some of them are straight up just keys for a digital download nowadays, which—
when the intro is this good and I have to show the entire intro, we are angry, okay? We are fed up. We are in the middle of protest. We just haven't gathered the numbers of people in the streets yet.
can only make me feature $100 on a disk drive. Also—
Here you go, buddy. You have been successfully extorted by the industry standards,
just
baby.
to preface this video, optimize storage. Otherwise,
At this point, we literally need options. And not just the options for the texture quality, but options for what content are you gonna be engaging with in the first place inside the game. You have to actually download content packages if you actually like the game. At first, you download 1 gigabyte demo version, and then you download the rest of the game slowly and surely. That sounds like a good way to update the industry standards, right? But why are we not doing that yet, right? Why are we not demanding things that make common sense? We're supposed to solve issues, right? We're supposed to solve problems. But we can only do it as an individual business venture, isn't it? So if I make games and I solve it, I'm just going to be called indie developer of like, why this good-looking game only weighs 1 gigabyte on my PC? My expectation was 2,000 gigabytes. You are a loser, sir. My game should choke on your big-ass game. Then I understand that you are a AAA developer. People not even gonna take me seriously when I fix a problem and I don't inflate my ego on your PC. Or piss. Just piss. On your piss.
anyways, it's not like I'm exactly breaking ground by talking about—
It's not about breaking ground. It's about panicking. We should be panicking. Because this is still going on. The inflation is still going on. And again, the storage can't keep up. What are we going to do? Cloud gaming? Is that where we're going? Because that's not going very well right now. I literally, it was like 2 months ago, there was a cloud gaming controversy. Right? Oh, Linux is trying to stop me. Well. You sound sounds good now. Sounds good now when Downloading games is such a fucking chore. Might as well watch this as well. Not the future. Where was the controversy, though? Xbox controversy. That's what it was, right? But let's be honest, this is the only solution you guys have. If you have monies in your pockets, this is where you're going to be going from now on, because the headache of actually owning games, you will own nothing and be happy, because owning things cause a lot of problems, man. At some point, you would reach your limits. At some point, you just don't want to own it, because fucking hell. You have to sacrifice ownership of something else. You literally don't actually own if you can only have 5 games. You don't own most of the stuff. You have to re-download that stuff and constantly manage who gets to survive. There's survival games on your PC all the time. If you are a big-time gamer, I'm not a big-time gamer. I gave that up. I knew how much trouble it is to go through various titles, to reinstall them, manage all this shit. It's a headache. And if something promises to fix that, it's actually a good thing, you know? Even if it sounds unfortunate, even if it sounds like lack of ownership, but there's a reason why we go there, right? Like, people actually want to have things in their discs, you know, want physical media. I'm sorry, what kind of physics do you have to invent to put that media into your discs anymore at this point? Sorry, buddy, you're not gonna own that shit. And again, even if you can put it in the disc, why would we be printing physical discs left and right? What's the point? That's expensive. That's a business expense, dude. No one's gonna cover that shit for you. Okay? So physical media will always gonna go away naturally. People will be pulling the rope, trying to get you into the cloud system as fast as possible. But of course, they will also try and control you, trying to manipulate you, trying to take things away from you and see how much you want them back and how much you're willing to pay for it. You know, slowly crank up the subscription costs and all that jazz. That drains your bank account, and you might not even notice until it's too late. I kid you not, I will give you the best advice you have ever received in your life. Find this. Like, back in the day, when we had cartridges, there used to be like cartridges with a bunch of games in it. Find anything that sells you multiple games all at the same time and different variety of games. A variety of games, you will not be disappointed. As long as the games are not too generic, this is the best deal. No longer is the best deal to actually grab a big game, because a big game is still going to be 100 times larger than this. You know, 100 smaller games is 100 times smaller than one big game. This whole thing is smaller, significantly. And most importantly, you get to test different ideas and talk about your favorite ones on social media. Instead of, you know, showing off the cool-looking graphical game with the recording software that you have to set up for like 3 days straight. Just thinking of like, how do I record this? What the fuck? Just because like additional overhead, like these games, they take even more fidelity to actually take control of, to record. I had a very hard time recording Skyrim back in the day, and I still do have a hard time recording Skyrim. Every single game has their own like settings ecosystem. You have to learn new settings if the game is not simple enough. They all have different controls, and it's just all mumbo jumbo. And imagine switching between, like, what did the gamers do? What happened to their brains after, you know, like, Even him describing these like 5 games, it's like I definitely didn't play none of them.
Rebirth, and the Demon's
I would never play none of them. I relatively understand because they're incredibly simple games when you think about it, what it's about. It's just like shoot, roam, sports, RPG, and then that hard game where everyone tries to kill you. Okay? These are fucking simple games that you can probably pick up with less amount of brain cells, but the moment you pick up Skyrim, I don't know, man. These look like baby games. Fallout, I don't think you can simplify Fallout easily. Like, you're roaming, but you're roaming in a whole different dimension than a simplified historical Wild West type of cool thing, you know? So while a normie might be able to switch between these games, and it still has like significantly different controls each time, right? And different things to fucking manage. Like usually you stick with just like one genre and expect that genre to give you all the entertainment. But it's hard to be a gamer, basically.
or IGN talking about how the next Call of Duty or the next big AAA game set to come out is some absurd number of gigabytes. Real, genuine conspiracy, big developers like Activision are purposely bloating the sizes of their live service games so you're less likely to free up space on your drive to play something else. Forward? Okay, perfect.
Okay, dude. We're gonna go back all the way. Here comes the video.
Let's take
when the polygons were
the
visible.
size of some N64. 64 coming in at 6 megabytes. Or Super Mario.
I would love to play more games, right? I would love to get that skill where I move my mindset across different genres and I don't just get compartmentalized that my tablet ran out of space again. And I should slow down when it comes to downloading games. The same problem, the same texture problem persists across all the platforms, my friends. The same polygon problem that I explained with my spikes example. The same shit is everywhere. The industry, you cannot escape it as a gamer. And it will consume all your space and will slow you down significantly. You will be less efficient doing what you do. Like when you do what you do, you still want to be the best at it, no matter how pathetic it is. Coin collection, you want to be the best. And anything that eats your efficiency must be eliminated.
Pokemon Stadium 2, 1.5 gigabytes of data, 3 gigabytes in size, and Super Mario. For the Star Fox franchise, that's a 129 times increase in
what the fuck?
In file size.
In just 5 years.
224 times.
How do you make that happen,
increase
dude?
In size, which the Sunshine is 1,350 megabytes. The rate of Sunshine by just looking at the game. Look at the models, textures, just how spacious these maps are. Hell, look at.
Now, yeah, granted, now that you can cram in a lot of work into your project, they went and did it. They filled up the entire disk space with goodies, right? But I want to see what's the limit. When are they going to stop inflating their stupid games? Because to me, as a game developer, I don't care about most of the parts of the game. When you're talking to Princess Peach, I'm taking a piss while you do it. Okay, Mario, I'm just gonna fart in this corner. I don't care. All right, she's not even attractive. I don't know why you're looking at that intensely of like, oh, you want to save that one person for the rest of your fucking career, stupid plumber.
Look.
Hey, don't look at me. It's your decision to be stupid.
2002, this is a beautiful game.
Bro nodded.
Look,
bro looks at you and it's like,
2002, this is a beautiful.
Yep. I chose to be stupid, but look, I'm pretty happy.
Game and can be breathtaking leap in graphical quality. But it's those breathtaking graphics and textures that are the main culprit behind what we know.
Yep, and they're not very much serving anything good anymore. In fact, I would love the industry to split into two pieces, because I would not participate in the 120 gigabytes industry part. All right, you can have that. The idiots can go that way. I want it to split into different pieces, man. And it sort of did, right? We restricted the industry by creating smartphones. This was a renaissance for gaming, my friends. This is why gaming feels bad on PC and very good on mobile devices. The simple reason is because it's so simple to just download a small game into a small device and just do some small things with it. And if you like it, maybe you'll find more of that shit, you know? While otherwise, it's literally a performative art to download a PC game and you realize,
now considered to be
maybe I'll buy something else
just
instead.
like previous graphics, we've continued to
bloat.
strive for a no cast to the PS.
I feel like the artists are the problem. The artists crave more and more and more. It's the game developers are few in between that actually make the game come to life, while the artists just keep cramming the fucking polygons where they don't belong anymore.
PS2 or
Such a fucking flex to them.
GameCube. No, it's in quality for CG cutscenes from Final Fantasy VII to Final Fantasy X. They've and sometimes even pre-rendered videos, which take
Pre-rendered videos. Wow. Why? Literally, this thing is the ugliest thing that ever entered my brains, because my brain interpolates this, or interprets this as junk. Not only looks pretty bad, because it's outside of the game scope, but that's a video. That's expensive. And it's not even gonna look good because it's gonna be compressed. What the fuck is the point? Right? Pre-rendered videos? Can you just, like, show us the game running the visuals? Because that would be actually more compressed data. That would actually work a lot better if your game did the scene, you know? But no, we have artists. That's the problem.
the majority of a game's file size.
I mean, literally the best thing that happened is cloud gaming and AI, baby. Where's the artist? I'm the artist. I will not fucking hire a single one anymore. I can do everything myself, bitch. And I will not make these fucking sloppy decisions that don't come together. They come in separate pieces, and those pieces take over my PC. Says. Are you guys related?
It's bigger than
Piss. Peace. PC.
Super Mario
Yeah.
64, but 874 megabytes of Super Mario Sunshine's disk space is dedicated
What is the percentile, you
solely
moron?
to pre-runs. 2/3
Thank you,
of the
thank you,
game's
thank you.
size spent on
Apologies.
14 minutes of videos, meaning that without those videos, Sunshine goes from 224 times bigger to just 79 times.
Oh, wasn't that so funny? It shrank by into 1/3 of its size. Oh, so beautiful.
Times bigger. This same
We just removed a couple of artists and bam, the bloat is gone.
reasoning holds true for Dead Redemption.
But that's what it is. They had a disc, and it's like, well, we made the game. It's time to add some bloat on top of the game. That's what it is. Like, you make the cake, and then you just, like, whipped cream the damn thing all over, and it looks like there's more whipped cream than cake in this case, from this perspective, rather, right? Or, I would say, like, whipped cream is, like, very expensive. But it's more like bloat. It takes, like, more space. Whipped cream just takes more space. I don't know which
just
thing to use.
39 times bigger, etc. Think about every person you meet, every animal, the full
I will not play this game. I won't play this game, though. Because 120 gigabytes, nah. I don't even know if my PC runs this game. You know, I literally, as a gamer, I live in the fucking darkness. Scared of everyone, of like, new game, ugh. I'm too scared to go outside, guys. I don't know, man. This is terrifying to me. Everything is terrifying to me. What if the game is not fun? What if the game doesn't live up to its costs? What if all these interactions just make my head spin instead of satisfy me?
All of these are models.
What if I'm gonna be disappointed in the entire company as a whole?
With the highest worlds ever. Articles were made. Franchise is poisoned by the idea that it needs to be a huge, mind-blowing, graphical showcase each time a new one comes out.
Because artists are taking over, basically. It's like immigration. They are taking over, guys. But they're not that smart. They're not the lead developers. They're the fucking losers, and they're taking over just because their number is big. They have bigger number of people. They know what they're doing, these fuckers, man.
Probably the same file size as the release version of Skyrim. Times that thinking by the space on your drive over time. It's especially...
Yeah. Let's not forget that you might get an update to your game, and all of a sudden, gobble more disk size. Oh shit, what happened? I thought I just downloaded an innocent little game, but it was a Pac-Man eating your storage this whole time. What used to be 50 gigabytes is now 80 gigabytes. Oopsie doopsie.
Title, and now requires
Used to be 40 gigabytes. Oops, got updated.
95 gigabytes of 199 gigabytes. If we translated this storage into raw dollar value with the idea that a 1 terabyte SSD is on average 75 USD, that's $15 of storage exclusively taken up by COD. $10 worth of storage.
Yeah. Extra cost. Isn't that fun?
Literally 40 gigabytes.
I swear to God, I will not let this happen again, right? I will not let bloat take over. And it's going to be a lot easier. You know, everything will be textures. In the world of ray tracing, everything is textures. Like I showed you guys. Everything is just texture logic. You don't have to create like disgusting topology looking things. You just piece textures and different meshes together, and then you get the result, the final result.
But I think you get...
You'll figure out after 3 years of more development of the engine is barely now running. I haven't actually worked on the meshes. I'm just showcasing the demo version. Or rather, like the demo prototype. We have no idea how much this should be improved and could be improved and which ways it can be improved, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. How to make it look better. I didn't give a fuck. I just made it appear, you know? But this is not that far off, guys.
The OG Star games need to fit on discs or cartridges, and as
Yeah, there's no restraint anymore, guys. That's it. These companies are loose to shit out as big of a pile of shit as they possibly can. Nothing restraining them anymore.
I mentioned we can only pray for longer dev cycles and optional install for high-res textures.
Longer dev cycles?
An audio, or the AAA industry needs...
Bro saw this one example of like 16-month dev cycle and he freaked out really badly. The real problem is we are hiring too many artists and not enough engineers. As simple as that, dude.
To stop being so obsessed with realistic graphics. And then Red Dead Redemption 2. RDR2 already looks so good that improving graphically on that really seems impossible. And
nope. The bloat will never stop bloating.
It's more about diminishing returns, and I haven't even gotten into the people who still happen to live in areas where the internet is notoriously bad. But also because pirates ended up doing a better job at compressing games and their downloads than...
Pirates compress game data. Do you fucking listen? That's a thing
than the companies
that
just
pirates do.
Distributing them. Day long as it stands now, there's no push for compression, there's no push for download options, and there's definitely no push for these large AAA game developers to look at...
Well, I'm rolling my eyes. Does that count as a push?
A game with a limit breathtaking visuals that crank the fans on my PC, and I have to turn DLSS on so the game doesn't stutter.
Don't worry, guys. I can fix both. I can fix the performance and the file sizes. That's the fun bit. That's why I believe in this so much. It's not about the way my spikes look. to some of you fools who don't understand, the real deal is that those spikes run at 90 FPS, 1 million of them.
Options for high-res textures until.
So yeah, I can save the world of gaming because that's just what I happen to be, you know? The savior.
Someone sets the same.
So cool. A person who likes solving problems as a way of life
Standard.
and
We're not
stuff.
going to see long. Instead, continue.
I will try and recreate like better and better graphics, better and better looking visual type of things. Like, I can only do so much as one guy. I am not an army of artists, guys. Heck, I basically finished my like patentable version of the engine, and I'm just entering the fucking pumping content phase, right? And I'm still alone in this, even though I can just literally revolutionize and liberalize your PC from this alien bloat garbage. Let's keep going.
Memory to install it. That's alright though, you can just go delete something you're not playing anymore. Oh wait, another problem. You only have like, I don't know, 2 games there, and somehow they're taking up 90% of your memory. Game 90 hour, wait, what, how, who, when, what?
Whoa!
What, come on!
This whole thing, this whole juggling games, it takes time. Precious time that you could have pressed play on a fucking game and actually played the game. Wouldn't it be nice to just press play for once? No? That's why I offered you guys to download 100 small games and see how it goes. I'll do the same thing on my gaming channel-ish. Again, it's not really compatible for stuff like that.
Is there any way to stop? This is how bad the issue has gotten. The year is 1977.
My god, they always do that. They just always do that, bro. They have the same script.
Series called Star Wars. The big thing to focus on is this triggered a Cold War of sorts. Each successive console kept upping their internal memory, and the next thing you know...
We were trying to run away from the games, but the games keep catching up with our bloat garbage. The scariest thing is that the games have caught up faster. And you can hold less games inside your consoles. Well, technically, you had your physical collection, so it was almost like convenient to hold games as many as you wanted to own. You know, back in the day when things were physical, you could feel like you own things and you don't have to compromise anything. You just get to keep your collection. You don't have to delete anything. And now they're deleting your ownership. They're pulling the rug out of you. Fucking mental.
...in the world triggered this.
This is a change in 1 decade.
What? Really expensive. But with more and more breakthroughs, the price on these fellas is dropping like test scores in Mississippi.
And unfortunately, we cannot rely on this. We can't rely on this getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper forever, isn't it? Nothing is as stable as you would think, and actually the gaming bubble can literally burst. If gaming PCs skyrocket into new levels of expensiveness, I mean, people will be forced to talk about this.
They are bad at
all of this.
Everything in 2009. This might not...
We're still talking about this? The cost is going down? What crazy hard drive am I supposed to buy now? 16 terabytes hard drive. I can't wait to buy it. Yeah, it's affordable. It's looking like this. I mean, I guess just buy 16 terabytes. All your problems are solved. This video was fucking useless, actually. My bad for being this cheap on my PC. There are a number of side effects for your medication. Failure rate. Okay. More power consumption. Interesting. Heat affects reliability. Shorten lifespan. Lifespan? What? What do you mean data organization becomes harder? You can accidentally become the hoarder of games, movies, and data. I actually don't think that playing video games is expensive. Oh, wait. I don't actually buy games, do I? Never mind. I'm not even qualified to talk about it.
Like anything too...
But it does seem like you just get a good PC, you get a bunch of storage, and you'll never encounter this problem ever
This time period,
in
we
your
were on the
life.
PS4.
But don't buy console. Ugh. Let's see if AI recommends a specific disk size. The sweet spot is 1 terabyte. And usually if you want to actually be optimized for everything, you take the sweet spot because, yeah, the more practical thing to do is to not download or buy AAA games in the first place in the end of the day.
Which came with 500 gigabytes.
It's better to restrain yourself just a little bit to notice problems. Yeah, the current consoles sit at the minimum. They're getting fucking choked around
The
here.
console was not out yet. That would have cost one.
I'm genuinely saying, when I show this map, my games will be 1 megabyte size. Yeah. Isn't that cool? Why is that? Like, where's the rest of the engine? Well, people will have the engine inside their graphics cards, pre-installed. Why wouldn't they? What else do you need? You just need the game files, the scripts. Here you go. Oh no, the audio. It's audio package. Downloaded separately, I guess. But the flex must remain. My video games are 1 megabyte large.
This can
I would obviously not go with 1 megabyte. Maybe 1 gigabyte should be like the standard center of attention, basically. Which is technically modern by today's standards. So if it's modern, it has to be at least 10 times less. It has to be 100 megabytes. It should never reach 1 gigabyte unless you're a AAA company. Then you suddenly reach 1 gigabyte using magic, you know?
Thankfully, like the aforementioned Fortnite graphics packages, some game companies are making these optional to help mitigate the issue.
Whoa! They're making it
Another
optional?
example being Diablo 4.
Oh, so cute. You talk about
Breastfeeding
solutions
gamers
now.
let me using AI to search for new tech.
Yes, compression is the magical wand, I would say. We have bloated so fucking hard that compression sounds like the ultimate solution that can cut the whole thing in half. I will consult AI again about it. Throw every single compression. Attack. Attack. So you would still zip it. You still zip the stuff that is not being used at a given time, right? I don't know, it does look like if you throw everything at it, it would lose just 50%, but again, this is just playground numbers.
Apparently 10 times more efficient than standard MP3 encoding. So there's definitely hope on the horizon.
There's a whole research. You can just do research for days here, for hours. And I personally have better things to do, you can fucking tell, right? No, I don't. That's literally my thing. I need to know all about it. Otherwise, my better thing is to masturbate, because that's what I uploaded last video, you know? Because it's good. Good waste of time. Procedurally, right now, we are generating most of the content. Hundreds, thousands. I'm applying a square root on the grass. God damn it, dude. Okay, there's still more procedural stuff. But not really, like, look what gets to be procedural. This is trash. Like, this is nothing. This means fucking nothing. Right? But look at these numbers. The comparison basically means... Alright, now we get the real fucking numbers. The hand-built most still. Because the procedural stuff, like, gets, like, all these crazy numbers. It relies on grass. We smoke weed every day. It's procedural because it doesn't matter much. It's disposable. This is the problem. Why is a problem? Because it should be kind of 50-50. That's the real compression. If you do something by hand, you're effectively doing it wrong. it should be done by logic. It's like automatic compression in a way. Procedural. I mean, now with AI, procedural thinking is going to be boosted so damn much. The idea would be that you don't have to download the game, you just download the idea of the game and the game will unpack itself, right? Yeah, the big difference maker is this is a procedural thinking. And even this is obsolete. Because all you want to do is define what a spike is. An AI or procedural thinking device will just recreate the spike the way you like it, okay? In real life terms, you just make things out of pieces. Out of pieces. I mean, that's how life works. You should be doing that. If game companies want to be realistic, the compression should be the most natural thing that accidentally happens. If forks are mass-produced, how many type of forks can you find in the world? Oh shit. Actually, you can find a lot. But that's the difference. You cannot just copy and paste a spike if it's made out of polygons and it's attached to a mesh. Like, what the fuck? Everything is hand-built, and it's like, that makes no fucking sense. Right? It's the artist holding us hostage, basically, because they have to learn math. They have to learn logic, basically. And it's simple as that, dude. I wouldn't say atomic pieces, but like, yes. Yes. These pieces, these little pieces, they have to be procedural. As procedural as they can possibly get. If you build them, like, man, you're not even doing a good job. The artists don't even do a nice thing in the end of the day. Because these procedural items can be actually nicer, can provide more detail, wherever the detail is actually required. Not only that, it can save time when you procedurally do things, right? I exist simply because Euclidean exists, and so far they seem to be doing fine as their own company, but they're not helping the public basically with insights like these, right? Exactly, you nailed a structural problem. Artist assault all. That's what AAA stands for. Procedural pipelines unlock player-driven assembly. Infinite variety of things. Massive storage gains. Performance gains, by the way. Dynamic features. This is not just a spike. I can change the way it works significantly while in game without adding more textures to it. And what the fuck? This is the point I'm making. My voxel spikes has more bones and superpowers than a superhero like Spider-Man. What you see here is nothing short of a superhero, because it can bend and warp and do crazy shenanigans just because it's semi, procedural. It lives in a whole different rendering space. That's a perfect way to put it, and honestly, that's the best conclusion ever. One Piece kills all the super. My power scaling is insane. My power scaling is better than Dragon Ball. AAA companies won't be able to keep up because they cannot store their shit in the disc.
To force game companies to start caring about file size again. However, I realize they probably won't give a shit, and this
We're gonna bully them so much. But the more important thing, I'm not just the, graphics engineer. I'm a game developer. I want to make games for the sake of making games, not for the sake of realistic experiences. Other people can do that shit. I want to actually research of what is fun. What should we do for fun around here? And even beyond fun, what can make you money? What can make you a good person? What can make you attractive and powerful and give you extra features in real life? I will keep attacking fronts that I can attack. No one's gonna stop me, okay? We're just gonna keep on chomping. If you want to join my army, subscribe and keep yourself updated and start yapping around me. That would be cool. While AAA companies just continue bloating their games and making them so unappealing to download, we can go a whole different direction and save ourselves all this trouble. We can leave them behind with their stupid downtime of 12 years until we make the next release. Fuck off, dude. Skyrim wasn't balanced in the first place. It still kind of stinks, to be honest. Maybe their fidelity of making good graphics is there, but their competence of making good games is non-existent. And at very least, we can slap these artists in the face and say, you don't have to work this hard. Also, you're making a fucking mess everywhere. And turds everywhere. Soon, we shall liberate you all. And instead of Spider-Man, you will have the spikes. Not a man, just spikes. Just stab everyone. Procedurally and very cheaply, with 10 kilobyte spikes will rule them all. The cloud looks like a city. That's one object out of 1 million. Isn't that cool? See you guys next time.